Hey, best friend.
Hey, Bessie.
And hello to all our besties watching from around the world. We would like to welcome to another fabulous episode of Envision The Sweet Life podcast.
Woo woo.
Today, today we're going to speak about the struggles of entrepreneurship. But before we get into that, let me pose you a question, best friend. You ready?
Hit me, hit me with
Oh,
it.
all right. Do you think it's smart to dive headfirst into entrepreneurship?
Absolutely not. Do not quit your day job. You will end up homeless. I'm telling you. It's all good to go and be, excited about what it is that you want to do. Definitely go after your dreams. I'm not telling you not to, but I'm telling you it is not as easy as just start it up and it becomes an overnight success. I know social media has us fooled, but it does not work out that way in business. And even if you get a spark of goodness from your start of your business, you're going to run into struggles throughout that process. I say keep your day job, okay? What do you think, Chanel?
As somebody who did quit her day job to pursue entrepreneurship, I mean, granted, I had a second day job, but it has been a struggle and it has been a journey. And I've only been in it for like almost 2 months now. So I'm still new to it. I
Mm-hmm.
like it some days and some days I don't. So, I mean, we'll talk about that. But no, don't quit your day job unless you're just like, this is it. This is the one. And you have a backup plan, a savings, and a contingency.
Definitely. I would agree with that. I mean, I have friends that have had savings accounts, to be honest with you, and have burned through them. I mean, I've been in entrepreneurship since 2012. So this is coming from bumps and bruises that I'm giving this insight personally. I would highly encourage to continue to have at least a part-time job or be willing to do like Uber or Lyft throughout the process. Bring in a steady stream of income or have access to a steady stream of income if you want to go headfirst into entrepreneurship. Fortunately and unfortunately, when you're starting a business, you're going to have to give your all to that business. And I'm not telling you not to dedicate your time to the business, but you're also going to need money to fund the business. So make sure you have that stream of money coming in or have that wealth accumulated, like Chanel stated, or it could be a bumpy ride for you.
100%. So, when starting your business, how do you pick a good niche? Like, how do you know what business is going to make money? What do you think?
Well, I think there's an audience for everyone. A lot of people like to put a certain or pick a certain category, which I would state one, find something that you're passionate about because when the going does get tough, or if it does, you do get down and out at a season, motivation will die, but that passion, that fire that lives inside of you will make you continue to strive for new learning or new you'll look for new opportunities or you'll find new strategies along the way because you're passionate about what it is that you're wanting to do. I know a lot of times we think that there's a certain business that booms, like, oh my God, this is really the hot topic right now. But in all honesty, we pay for comedy, entertainment. We pay for, obviously services and products, personal training, whatever it may be. I think once you hone in on what it is that you actually are looking to do, then you get into niche specific of how you market the strategy.
I'd
What
have
do
to
you
agree
think?
with that. I would
Okay.
say, so I am probably the the dive in head first example of all of this because when I decided to start a business was last year. I was pregnant with my son and I was like, I don't want to work for anybody else anymore. I want to work for myself. So the first business I started was like a Airbnb property management company that I never actually did anything with. I just had the LLC for the last year, and I've literally never ran a business with the LLC. It's just there. I
Right.
also have a DBA for a virtual call center, and I have another company, like a second company that is a virtual call center, and then we also just DBA'd into a cleaning solutions company. So honestly, I am all over the place, and then none of these are actually like my baby that
Yeah.
I want to do. I won't say that on the podcast yet until I like get ready for funding for that, but I have like an ultimate like business that I actually want to start. So for me, I don't know. I just kind of like throw something in the air and hope it sticks. Um,
Out of curiosity, what made you select the businesses that you went into?
TikTok.
TikTok. Okay.
Literally TikTok. I was on TikTok and somebody was like, try this. I'm successful. And I was like, you're right. And then I took a course and then another course. I've taken so many courses on courses.
Right.
I'm probably gonna like maybe that'll be my niche. It's like creating courses or course space or like information on all the courses I've taken. I actually saw a TikTok about somebody like me, like people who just kind of take courses just
Right.
to gather information but may not do anything with them. That's me. I am here. Yeah.
Yeah, I do recall us talking about you having analysis paralysis, kind of getting started, ready to go, not pressing start. So, but do you think some of the things that I mentioned, lacking that passion behind these businesses, kind of hindered you from getting out there and diving, full fledged into these business opportunities? Or what do you think you would say the holdup has been with the certain interests that you're not so active in right now?
I mean, I think it's the opposite. Like, I
Okay.
think the one I'm passionate about is the one I haven't taken the leap on, but that's because I think it's a really ambitious opportunity that I have lined up in my mind. Like, it requires physical leasing space. It requires like staff. It requires money, a lot of capital to start that business. Whereas the other businesses are virtual or I can do from my home. I don't have to go out and actually physically do anything for those businesses, but the one I'm passionate about, I would have to like actually do stuff beyond the comfort of my computer. I'd have to go in person and tour places, and there's a lot of marketing and pushing throughout the community for that one. So while I
Gotcha.
think it's ambitious, I still think that it'll be a great business once I can start it. So a little bit of the opposite. I can start the ones
Definitely.
that I'm not passionate about, but the ones I'm just trying to do all my research.
Absolutely. So just a heads up, I do want to let you know there are resources out there for you for some of those things that you're inquiring about. Once again, I said I'm a pretty seasoned entrepreneur at this point. But of course, becoming a certified business, as you already are, being established, you're able to qualify for certain grants. And I know a lot of people may not even know how to get access to these grants, but there are ways that you can register your EIN as a certified minority business owner, and if you do, especially as a Black woman, there is plenty of funding that goes untouched, untapped every year because people are not applying for these grants. And that's free money to help you start up, get that brick and mortar that you're looking for. I think sometimes we lack the knowledge and understanding of how do we do that. I see that Walmart lets people in their stores because they are Black owned businesses, so they support them and put them on the shelves. So many large companies have to, because of diversity laws, have to support Black businesses into their spaces. But a lot of the times, Black businesses aren't even aware of how to get through the door in order to receive that opportunity. Just like an employer has to have a certain amount of diversity in their portfolio regarding their employees, same thing happens when it comes to someone who has shelf or a service, and it's under a different entity. So that opportunity is out there for you. And I'm more than willing to dive in more deeper with not only my audience, but you personally, Chanel, because sometimes it's just a lack of knowledge. Um, you could be spending this time prepare yourself for your actual business that you're passionate about. And
Mhm.
I know that sometimes we think that funding, where am I going to get it from? I mean, even if worst case scenario, options of, having your business established, starting a credit line, and then being able to qualify for a business loan. They give out plenty of money compared to personal loans. They give out 50 plus $1,000 just for having a business and having a credit line open for 6 months or so. Of course, grants, free money is better than loans, but the options of funding is out there for you and your business.
Mhm. No, 100%. I've looked into loans and grants and all the things. Um, I'm just working on my business proposal, my business plan, and we just bought a house, so we can't do any more loans right now. Um,
Definitely. No, I understand completely,
they
completely.
still consider I still would need a personal guarantor, and while my credit is, it's nice, I just the loan process, I'm burnt out. So
Understandable. And it is a huge risk. Entrepreneurship is risque. You're taking on
yeah.
100% of the responsibility of what you're producing, what you're servicing. So, you definitely want to be secure, sound, and ready to go when you're willing to go. I'm not trying to pressure you. I just want to let our audience know of some of the things or options that may be available for them that they may or may not be aware of.
100%. Hey, what about you? So you have businesses. Tell us a little bit about
Correct.
those.
Well, my first business that I started was a personal training company. I personal trained for multiple gyms, was head trainer and a manager for several gyms at the time being, and I seen the amount of capital that I was bringing into the facilities, and I'm like, geez, I could do this for myself. I'm running these places. So I decided to take that leap of faith and I started my own business. Good thing with personal training is you can do that anywhere. Anywhere you are physically mobile, you can have a body moving into action to lose weight. So you don't necessarily need a brick and mortar. There's options for you not to have it. I was one of the ones that early established online personal training and created hybrid programs for my clientele. And also I utilized my resources and you know, got plenty of gym memberships and met my clients there. Outside workouts, boot camps, parks, I did that. From that niche, being a personal trainer, I ended up opening up kind of my clients led me to the rest of the businesses that I began and I started. A lot of my clients were telling me that I helped transform their lives. It was bigger than just the weight loss that they were experiencing. I was giving them the education that I had that I was learning throughout business. If you want to start a business, I'm giving them the information and insight. If you're having struggles and, um, getting your LLC started, I'm helping them with that. So they're telling me like I'm a life transformational coach. And it took a while for me to actually hone in onto that. But I then began to create some of, like you said, coursework that teaches people how to do these things. Because if I can make my knowledge duplicable, I can then now help people in a mass basis. It doesn't have to be one-on-one conversations. So this kind of led me to creating a book, to becoming a motivational speaker, getting on stages. And I'm sitting nice and pretty here now, expanding that portfolio. That is my key of what I'm trying to do. Just help change people's lives at this point.
And I think you're doing it, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you mention that you were also a model? I'm just saying, because
Oh, yeah. I kind of left some things off. I did have a modeling phase. It was fun. It was amazing. 6-month portfolio. I mean, I was in
you were so
7 different
good.
states. Yeah, I was like in 7 different states, did 2 different modeling agencies. Ended up actually, doing 3 different, I think, shows that I actually walked in and a plethora of pictures. So, yes, I do enjoy modeling. That was fun as well. I also, at one point in time, was a independent contractor for DJing recently. So, I am someone that likes to touch their passions, play in the playgrounds of what makes me go, which makes me tick. I love music, which got me into DJing. I'm like, if I can learn how to turn tables, I love being in the room and being able to shift the energy. I do it with my speech. So I can do the same thing with music because I love music. So I definitely gave that a go to, did phenomenal with that as well. But what I say is purpose is what I'm doing now. So definitely I would see myself getting back into some of these things at some point in time as um, just something to do that makes my heart tick. But the thing that I see as purpose is what I currently do now. But thank you. I was doing my thing. This does not display the modeling look, okay, guys? This is not,
I
I
mean,
mean,
you went all out. You cut the hair, you had the
yes.
poses.
Okay.
Beautiful pictures. We'll have to put
Thank
them out on our
you.
social media. I'm just saying.
For sure. I appreciate it. Hey, don't get it twisted. You did a shoot with me too. You look bad. Come on now.
Yeah.
Don't, no, no, no. We're going to have to put the pictures up so you guys can decide, okay? I'm going to need you to vote on it. Hopefully we can put them up next
Well,
week,
the
okay?
photo in our thumbnail is actually from the one shoot that I did with you.
Oh yeah, that
So,
is from the day. Yeah, that
mhm.
wasn't an actual professional picture. We took that as a selfie,
True.
but that was the day that we were doing a photo shoot together. So we're definitely gonna have to let you guys let me know. Ain't that a cute picture? I mean, and that was just a selfie. That wasn't professionally done.
All right.
So
So let go ahead.
okay,
I was like, let's
go
get
ahead.
into our
No,
first
no, no.
topic.
First,
You're responsible for your operation. So what does that mean to you?
okay, so unlike being an employee where you have job responsibilities that are handed to you on a platter, which you're supposed to fulfill, when it comes to entrepreneurship, you're the one that's creating the manual for everything.
Mhm.
So it is 100% your responsibility to craft your product, your service, your niche into exactly what you want it to be, the vision that you have is in your mind. So you're responsible for everything. I mean, nobody's going to tell you to wake up to do your business. Nobody's going to tell you how to start your business. Nobody's going to tell you how to market your business. Nobody's going to force you to do anything. So you are 100% responsible for how not only it is presented, but how it is operated on a daily basis.
And I was
That's what I believe.
Yeah, and I agree. I would say as a newer business owner, that was a hard pill to swallow. Like I understood that going into it, but I
Right.
think you don't realize how much you have to do as a business owner. I actually saw this video, like this reel the other day that was like, I'm a business owner. Of course, I don't have work-life balance, and it was like talking about all the stuff that people go into business to get is the things that you don't have in the beginning of being an entrepreneur. I'm working all the time, and I mean, I have other jobs, so I'm always working on something. But
Definitely.
my businesses, there's always something to do because it's yours. Like there, you don't have a boss, you don't have anybody. So
Preach.
yes, I'm starting to learn how to outsource some things. And I mean, AI has been one of my best friends for almost
Okay.
everything. It's been really amazing, to be honest. So shout out to AI.
Cool, cool.
Chat
You know,
GPT.
definitely helps out for sure. Definitely helps out. But yeah, like you said, it is 100% your responsibility. And work-life balance is like non-existent. Like you said, a lot of people get into entrepreneurship to find freedom, but that freedom doesn't come right away.
No.
Um, uh, so if you're expecting to have that easy cooker cookie cutter, excuse me guys, cookie cutter walk into freedom, it's not that. So I think sometimes we have unrealistic expectations and it does not go like that, but it is very important to keep sound mind and keep momentum going to stay consistent, that you find some way to find that work-life balance. Because I know in my earlier stages of getting my business off the ground, oh my goodness, I would have burnouts at least once a month where I wanted to just put not only my business down, but life down, to be honest with you, where
Yeah.
I felt like it was just too much, too taxing. And I realized that those few moments that I gave myself the opportunity to breathe, or I did something for myself that was like self love, then it made me rejuvenate myself into getting back into what it is that I need to do for my business. So that's personally my opinion, that you have to be willing to put in the sacrifice. You're going to have grit. You're going to have grind. You're going to have the determination. You're going to have passion. You're going to have to sacrifice along the journey. But they say that, what's the quote? When basically you're able, a lot of people, do things easy, starting off, that, and then they still have a hard life the rest of the time. But if you do something hard starting off, you can reap the rewards of an easy life.
Mhm.
So I think it's worth the sacrifice, but you have to be willing to weather the storms in order to reach that destination and that goal.
I'm weathering too many storms. Well, no, because I think you're literally talking to like you're speaking to me because in my when I started the business that I started was because I saw something on YouTube or TikTok or wherever, and somebody else, it worked for them, you know. And I'm not saying that my businesses don't work for me. I think I'm successful in my own right. I'm more successful than I was yesterday. You know, every day something new happens. We close a new contract. You know, I get somebody else on board. I enjoy it. However, I think back sometimes and like, had I just started the business I wanted to start in the first place, where would I be? You know, where
Right.
would I be doing all these extra things to make the same money I could have made had I done the thing that I actually want to do that makes me happy? Or my justification is that I'll do these businesses and I can use these businesses to assist with, you know, the big business. So
Exactly.
it's
Well,
a give and a take.
I think that goes back to this topic at hand. You are 100% responsible for figuring out how you're going to fund your business. And there's plenty of options for you to do it. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way. For me personally, I utilize my 9 to 5 to supplement my entrepreneurship goals. Some people might do Uber or Lyft. Some people might start a smaller business or online business that's easier to, lower on the upfront costs to supplement their main passion. But the
Yeah.
good thing is you have plenty of different options, unlimited options in order to make your final goals a reality. Um, yeah. So I got a question though.
Yeah.
What do you think, like, what do you think? Because I know, like, when I first started off, once you do start to get some capital, once you do have money coming in, whether big or small, what is your money going back into when you start your business? Like, what do you think is important for you to invest in right away?
Um, I'm gonna well, marketing. That's probably a big one because if nobody knows you exist, it's really hard to get anything, to be honest. And it depends
Right.
on what your business is. Like my virtual call center, I mean, I don't really have to market. I just kind of put out an ad on like ZipRecruiter and then I get a bunch of people. But do those people follow through? That's a whole other conversation. But
Right.
the cleaning business is all about marketing. And so I recently had to like hire a lead closer, like a cold caller, and they bring in the leads because I just don't have the time nor the capacity to do that on top of everything else. And so far it's been pretty successful. And so, you know, using Facebook ads, I joined like a million Facebook groups to market my
Mm-hmm.
businesses and to find people to support me too. So I would say the biggest thing is marketing because paying for leads in whatever business you have gets really expensive.
Very much so. I definitely would agree with you. I mean, it is important for people to know who you are. You can have the best product in the world, and if nobody gets to see it, nobody's gonna buy it. So it's
Yeah.
however you have to present it, like you stated. With the first business that you have, it's easy to just put out an ad, and people are interested in coming to you because you're offering them a job. If I believe so, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So with the second business, you're offering a service, whereas people need to know what makes your surf is different than the rest of the services that are out there. So
Right.
having that appearance, that brand, as we all like to call it, out there, and it being something that's thrown in somebody's face multiple times as well. People typically don't buy into, I think, like the fifth time they see something. So you have to make sure that it is in their faces. If you have a certain type of business as well, I think marketing is very important for you to invest in right away because that will help you continue to make those small needle points towards the growth that you're looking for in your business.
Yeah. Just finding a way to invest in your business is key. You know, I think believing in your business and investing in it, it hopefully will pay off.
Stay positive. It will pay off. It will. Okay.
Well, you know, I mean, yeah, no, I'm not even talking about my businesses. I'm just saying, like, there's some, you know, the statistic, like, I'm throwing out a random number, but like 60 to 75% of new businesses fail within the first year. You know, like it's a
Right.
pretty high, and I don't know, it could be 45. I don't have the statistic up, but I don't want my businesses to be a statistic. You know, like I want them to be successful. I want them to keep growing, and so I do pour into them quite a bit. um, which I know will pay off.
Yeah, and I believe that the most important investment that you can put into your business is time. I think a lot of times people put aside that effort, that energy, that dedication. As I stated, I've gotten into burnouts where I've put my business down for 6 months at a time, and then you have to press restart and rejuvenate and get people back interested again. Staying consistent is going to be key, and I think the more time that you put in to your business, the more likely it is to be successful.
100%.
So 100%, I would say it is very important to invest into your business, both monetarily and figuratively and literally, with time and other resources. It is your baby. It is your baby to care for.
Exactly. Okay, so what's some advice that you would give to somebody who's just starting out and like me might be having some days are great, some days are not so good.
Um, that's a part of business. Understand that no matter how grand your business becomes, people still have profits and losses. You're always going to continue to have a continual learning process for your business. So
Mhm.
give yourself some grace throughout that process as well. A lot of times we are our biggest critic, but yet still not our biggest motivator. And that can slow us up. So allow yourself to definitely be critical of what it is that you're doing so that you can continue to grow and expand, but also be willing to have some grace with yourself and realize this is something that you're doing that's new. You are willing to make mistakes. You can make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes in business, some more costly than others. But as long as you continue to have faith and put in that work towards learning, growing, and earning, you will come up on top. That's at least what I've learned throughout my process of starting, restarting. like like I have to be willing to accept where I'm at now, but be open to opportunities that's to come as well, because they will come if you keep knocking. The door will continue to fall or open for you if you're still in that lane. So I would say don't give up, put in the work, look for help. There is somebody that came before you that has done it. As you stated, you've gotten plenty of different courseworks on the
Mhm.
businesses that you're in, and I'm sure you're a lot further in the businesses that you're in because you've gotten somebody that's taking you through the journey rather than
Mhm.
trying to figure it out all on your own. Get yourself in a healthy community of people that are willing there to be there as motivation and support. Um, most entrepreneurs are going to be around other entrepreneurs, even if it's not in the same lane. You're having the same energy, the same experiences, they have the same struggles. So being around like-minded individuals will help you stay motivated throughout your process as well. So those are some of the things that I would say just to keep you motivated and keep you moving and progressing. That have grace with yourself. Find a mentor, find somebody that's done it before. Read books, study your business. It typically takes about 10 years to become an expert at anything. So you're going to have to put in that work and that time. But once again, give yourself grace along that journey.
I agree. And I wanted to add one more thing. Just like never stop setting goals, you know?
Definitely.
I think I set goals and I do this in my daily life. Like I'll set a goal and then I have to then create a new goal. Like just because you reach a milestone doesn't mean that the journey's over. And so just keep
Correct.
setting goals because there's always something new to do. I don't even I think someone like Elon Musk, I feel like he still sets goals. Like there's something new to do no matter how much money or success or power you have.
Right.
There's always something
For
to
sure.
strive for.
Always something to strive for. As long as you got breath in your body, there's more that's in you to do. So definitely, setting goals will keep you accountable for what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So make sure you definitely set those goals. It is very important, and no matter how far you grow, there's more to give.
Exactly. Okay, so what do you think about businesses that like what do you think is the best business type? Like I know a lot of people push for like service software as a service or like Airbnb, for instance, is software as a service or a service as like a product, or even something like what I do when I'm providing a service to people. So what would you say? A software, a physical product, or a service to people?
Well, one, I want to think about where we are in time and what we're moving towards. You know, a lot of businesses may not be businesses 10 years from now because we are moving to a AI technological type of world. We're
Mhm.
moving to a digital world. So I think giving an example first will help you understand how you can pivot throughout the time test of times. I think we're always going to need the things that we have, but it's going to be how do you operate in those spaces as we continue to develop as a society. So for instance, as a personal trainer, I was in a mentorship class that taught me that we were moving to a digital world. So prepare yourself to make your business a digital space. That's how I got into having that mentorship to tell me what they foresee for our future and creating it prior to the pandemic even occurred. I had online personal training ready to go because I knew that this is still going to be a service that needs to be provided for. People are still going to want to lose weight, but they're going to still need that accountability that they get. They're still going to need to make sure that they get those check ins from you, and they still want to feel like they're with you, but they're also going to want to do it from home, you know? So I
Yeah.
created, having a way to pivot into the business space that you want to go into, such as personal training being that's always been something that you meet up with your personal trainer at the gym, but it became a very normal thing for people to do online training after the pandemic. So it was a pivot in that area. I think a lot of different things when it comes to, like, let me think of another good strategy with that. Comedy. Think about back in the day when you think of kings of comedy and stuff, or queens of comedy. They used to be in comedy clubs where
You
they
are
were
probably aging us. People, they're gonna be like, "What is Kings of Con?" They're like, "How old are these people?"
I'm sorry. Well, okay. When you go to
The
okay, think
Laugh
about it this way.
Factory,
Okay, I got
that's a new
okay, or
thing.
I got a Laugh Factory, or I got a good one. So think about prior to the pandemic when you were going to concerts all the time. And then people created the space where you did online concerts, and they what was the show that they came out
Like
with?
Verses or
The
something.
versus
Yeah.
where now it's a digital concert that you're tuning into online. So they pivot into the space, the digital world that we were moving into. Sorry, and for my millennials out there, y'all know what I'm talking about when I say Kings of Comedy. And now we got Funny Marco that's doing his YouTube channels and everything else. So learning how to pivot into the society that we're in. And I'll go even further back so I can, and this is not within my generation, guys. So, but think about when, a lot of things were transported via, and they still are to a certain degree, but like by the train system, or we used to be on trains back in the day, and now they got to the place of automobile space, and stuff like that. So there's always going to be a stage of pivot, but I think there's always going to be, as in that example, there's always going to be a need of transportation, or as an example of comedy, there's always going to be a want or a desire for some form of comedy, or in a space of health and wealth, there's always going to be a need for someone who's focusing on health and wealth. It's just making sure that you're pivoting with the times. So I don't want to knock anybody for anything that they're trying to do. I think there's a way to make it happen. You just have to pivot with the times that we're in.
I agree with you. I would say I would to add on to that, I know a lot of people think like, okay, what if the market for that business is saturated? Well, I think sure, I think there could be some saturation for businesses. Like if you do print on demand or virtual call center or something, the cleaning business, there's a ton of competition. But I think if you also can find your support in those spaces, you don't have to be in competition with everybody who's doing it because maybe what you do is unique and somebody like me might see your product and be like, oh, that's, maybe I see a million, baby products, but your baby product is the one that I like, and so I buy
Right.
that. So I think people like, oh no, I'm not going to do that because everybody does that. Well, there's something like you said earlier, there's something for everyone. There's someone out there that's
Exactly.
your audience and that's your buyer, your consumer.
Yeah, and I piggyback off of that. People buy from people they like, know, and trust. So it's not even about who's the biggest, who's the best. It's about who do I have that relationship with. And I think if you can nurture enough people or create enough trust, you can create enough trust in these relationships. There's always going to be a space for business for you, no matter how saturated that area
Mhm.
is.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I want to piggyback on some of the things that we talked about with business and in terms of investments. I think it's very important that when you do get to a space of having some capital, as you kind of already described in your cleaning business, Chanel, that you were already able to do it in 2 months. Shout out to you, but hire help.
Mhm.
It is nice that you are able to get to a space where it's your baby, but a lot of people hold it captive, especially once they get to a place of actually starting to see profits. But the more help that you have, the more that you can grow. And you're going to also have to find a trusting team in order for you to be able to let go of some of those responsibilities so that you can get that life of freedom that you're seeking and desiring. Because some people are so encompassed by making sure it still is a functional system that they are afraid of letting others into the business. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you do have to take the time and nurture the people, your employees, just like a company does. They put you through training modules. They make sure they keep you incentivized to make sure that you stay a happy employee and things like that. You're going to have to, as now an employer, be sure that you keep your employees happy. But I promise you, the workload becomes a lot less heavy for you if you're willing to invest into help earlier on, and then you can grow a lot more quickly, because 2, 3, 4, 10 bodies are a lot better than one, no matter how much that one knows.
And I feel like if you can find a structure of pay that works, like the person I hired to be a lead closer, they are a contractor for one, and they are commission based. So, and they understand that up front. There's a whole agreement involved. So I'm not coming out of pocket for their services until they, provide what they're hired for. And we have a percentage in mind. Like we really work through this out so that they feel valued, and like I'm not, I explain why and all the things, and they seem extremely eager to help me, which I really appreciate. So also finding somebody who you just get good vibes from. They understand that you are a small business and a new business, and they can, work with you, because I do have employees, and I had to realize, like, my business is funding people's lives. Even though it's a contract position, people make money from what I created.
Correct.
Sometimes they're happy and then they leave, or sometimes they're happy and they stay, and sometimes they're unhappy and they leave, and that's okay too. Whatever works. I'll support you
Definitely.
in the door, out the door.
For sure, definitely. And there is plenty of people who are looking for employment. So never underestimate your business or think that people may not be willing to work with you or work for you. I think the most important thing, like I stated, they need to like, know, and trust you. Keyword trust as well. So make sure you're open and honest about where you are in your journey. Some people really want to help people who are just getting started off, excited to be a part of the new beginnings and really want to grow with the company as well. So don't feel like you have to put on a facade in order to get people to work with you or along with you or work under you. Like, be real, be transparent, and you'll get the right people to come to you and stay with you and grow with you as well.
I agree. And so to wrap this episode up, I want to extend the offer to anybody listening and wants to be an entrepreneur, wants to learn more, to connect with us, because I think that we both have a lot of um just support and experience to provide to someone. And
Definitely.
I don't want to sell anything to anyone. I don't want to click this link. I just want to connect with other business owners, talk about ideas, brainstorm, spitball. I think that's something I'm missing in my journey, because everybody wants me to click a link and buy something. So if you are
Right.
interested and you just want to have people to talk to, bounce ideas off of, let us know, because we are here
Please
and
do
we are
connect with us.
definitely, yes.
For
Find us on
sure.
our socials, listen to our podcast, contact us, DM us. We're nice, we promise.
We are. I definitely agree. So at this time, I honestly want to open the door. I know you all have access to our socials for our business, but also because we're talking about something so personal, being business owners. This time, before wrapping up, I also want to give you access to our personal social media so that you can connect with us directly. So, for the business, the podcast, we would like for you to connect with us on Instagram at Envision The Sweet Life Podcast. And Chanel, where can they find us on TikTok?
Envision Sweets Pod. Um, and then our Gmail is envision_sweets@gmail.com.
Definitely. And personally, if you would like to have conversations with me personally, you can find me on Instagram or TikTok at Envision Speaks. And Chanel, where can they find you?
C Sweets 4 on Instagram and TikTok.
Hey. So we want to connect with you once again. We want to thank you all for viewing our business. Don't quit your day job episode here. This is episode 3. So if you've been with us for these 3 episodes, we want to thank you and welcome you into our besties family. Chanel, you got something to add to that?
Uh, no, but I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.
We'll see you
Bye.
next time. Bye.